Hi there. Let's wrap this up. So when I left off from the second video, we were looking at this sample pair. So remember, our population has 3 observations, 1 and 3 and 14 in it, and we are randomly choosing 2 observations with replacement. So it is possible that we first chose the observation number 1, but then when we replace it back into the population, it could get chosen again. So understand here, hopefully this isn't too hard, the mean of 1 and 1 is just 1. But then something special happens. When you look at the deviations, the observations and the mean are exactly the same. So each observation take away its mean. Each observation take away its mean. Both of those deviations are 0. So when you square them, you get 0 plus 0, which is just 0. So it doesn't matter whether you are dividing by 2 or 1. It doesn't matter whether you're dividing by the total number of observations in the sample or 1 less than the number of observations in the sample. Either way, you're getting 0. One of the things that I wanted you to realize with this table, and hopefully it will save you some work, is that there are rows that look the same as you're completing the table. So for instance, I believe in the study guide that I called these right here the 1, 3 and the 3, 1 because those rows look exactly the same. I called those a row pair so they can be completed in exactly the same way. So you're going to get 2 more row pairs. So consider instead of 1 and 3, maybe you got 3 and 14 and 3. That would consist of another pair of rows that are going to look exactly the same. So once you've completed one of them, you can complete the second one. So similarly, you could get 1 and 14, 14 and 1. That would be another pair of rows where once you complete the first row, the second one can be completed in exactly the same way. So that's one way in which you can save yourself some work. And notice also then, the last 2 rows are going to be completed not with 1 and 1, but notice, couldn't you select 3 and then 3 again? Or select 14 and then 14 again? So there are 2 more rows that are going to have the same look and feel as this row here. That's why there are 2 rows remaining at the bottom of the table. So what's important is that you complete the entire table before you go to page 3 of the study guide. On page 3, that's where you're going to analyze the data that you see in this table, and hopefully that will give you a good idea of why, when we're working with sample data and we're trying to calculate the variance, we don't divide by the full sample size of n. We want to divide by 1 less than that sample size. Again, remember, we're working with variance here. The only difference between that and the standard deviation, if we wanted to calculate the standard deviation, the only step left would be to actually take the square root of the variance. It's just that to make the observations in this study guide, it's simpler to work with variance rather than standard deviation. I hope these videos have been helpful. Your assignment will be due on Friday. Good luck.